Welcome again to our podcast. My name is Artur Walus and my guest today is Captain Klaudia Skotnica. First question to Klaudia. Tell us, please, how did you manage to become a seafarer in the time when actually it was really, really difficult even to join Maritime University? That must have been a challenge for you.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation. Yeah, that was the challenging time. 1996, it was the time when I attended the Maritime Academy in Szczecin. It was the time when the academy didn't approve the female as a student who wants to become a seafarer. The academy was open for the students who wants to stay ashore only. So it was my goal to become a seafarer and in the future captain. So the only way to approach the academy, it was the approval from the Ministry of the Transportation in the time. Obviously, I received the permission from the ministry. Unfortunately, the management of the academy was trying to guide me in the way that it's not a good time to attend the academy on this particular direction, which was the navigation. They advised me to wait a while. It was 1 year, as the academy was planning to open up another direction. The female will be welcome, and there will be opportunity for them to become the seafarer. So I took the advice because it was just it wasn't only the advice, it was just like you have to do it, otherwise the option will be you will never finish this academy on this direction which you're planning to do it. So there was no another way, like wait this go to start to study on the direction which is only for the students who wants to work in the ports or ashore, let's say. And then 1 year after, I start to study on navigation, and it was the time when I feel the wind in my wings. So I knew even if I felt the barrier when the teacher from the academy, the captains in the time were very reluctant for the female. I was pretty sure I will be the one who's gonna do it and who's gonna prove and show that I can do it. And I'm always trying to firstly prove myself that I can do it, and then when all of the others see that okay, if she could do it, then another ones. I'm just trying to open up the doors, and it was also one of the goal for me that if I will show that I can do it, so another girls will have the open window for such a way. As in Poland, it was the time where female seafarer were. It was the subject. Oh my goodness, the female seafarer.
Very rare.
Very rare. It was like, it's not happening in Poland.
So were you the first officer or first graduate from the Maritime School for Officers?
I received the officer certificate together with my final exams. It was, yes. We had a few other girls. There was 15 of us in the same group. We were like pioneers in the time. Few of them were also sailing for some time afterwards.
Okay. And what was the main attracting factor for you to actually think about working at sea? What happened in your life that you decided, okay, sea is for me?
In that time, the vision, freedom, kind of freedom. I always love the sea, open ocean, and this job also give the perspective to see the world. As you remember, this time we were still in the transition as a country, so it was not so obvious that you can take your passport and the credit card and fly wherever you want to, like is it now. That time was quite restricted. So I remember when I had my first assignment, I was flying to US. It was still during my academy. It was still during the cadet time. It was something, wow, I'm flying to US. It's something like, wow, that's nice. It's that's gonna be something. I will see a little bit different world.
What was your first vessel? What kind of vessel was it?
My first vessel was it was chemical tanker, old chemical tanker, where everything was manual, all of the valves and everything was adjusted manually. So it was quite a hard time, but when you finally have got the chance to join the vessel, it was not so obvious. Like is it now that you can get the vessel? For me, it was like a treasure. Okay, so I just got the first assignment, and I was so focused to get a job on board. So I was really able to go on board even without the payment. I was happy to just go there because for me in the time was so important to get the cadet this time of the cadetship to get this time. So and the goal was just to get this 12 months as fast as possible to become the officer. It was something like it doesn't matter the money and everything, you know, in the time, even the money for the cadet was pretty much nothing. Okay, it was a little bit better than ashore, but it was doesn't matter how much they're gonna pay you. The most important was the time. Finally you will get this practice. You will fulify your books. You will get your experience. You will see everything. So that was the most important. You know, it was completely different time. I was, like I said, I was even able to go only for the food. To just to go on board and get this time. I was really focused to get as fast as possible this 12 months time on board. Yeah, completely different setup, you know, completely different mind. But if you are so much focused for the job, for your career, the rest is really doesn't matter. You're just going in the direction, and that's it.
That is the word that comes to my mind as the first one. You were really focused and goal-oriented, and that was your goal to achieve, and you managed. And
I did.
you worked also in Wilhelmshaven on a tanker vessel.
Yes, on the chemical tanker. I started later on the chemical, very nice company, Swedish company in the time, as a third mate. Afterwards, you know, we as seafarers, we just changing whenever there is the opportunity to get the assignment or the better salaries or promotion or whatever, we are just sometimes changing the company. So and after some time, when I get some experience, I returned to Wilhelmsen as a chief mate on the same chemical tanker.
Okay.
So it was just like
So
part.
in the records I saw that you were here as employed as chief officer.
Yes.
And your career didn't stop there. Then you became captain. You worked for quite a long time as a captain and quite successfully. And now you are safety auditor on Wilhelmsen vessels.
Correct.
So your career, your growth actually has been like I would say I would even use word stellar, because you started as one of the first female in Poland that was graduated from Maritime University to become a safety auditor on our vessels globally.
Yes.
How do you find yourself in a new role?
In
Global
in global yeah, something what was also in the plan. You know, you just going with your career, with your on the steps, on the ladders, and you don't want to stop. You always looking for something more and something more. So it was just a plan to become the global safety auditor for the company, and the setup is still working setup. I mean, is very good. 1 month on, 1 month off, so it's not much different than working on board. But you're looking also from the different perspective. You are not from the ship side. You're looking also from the other side of the desk. So you've got the let's say global picture on all of the aspects of the vessel, of the crew, of the cargo, and everything like that. You're taking this as a global picture. So yeah, you strengthen your mind, strengthen your knowledge, and this is something what keeps you all the time developing, because it was also one of my goals to keep on moving all the time. I've got this type of character which never stops, looking all the time something more, something new. You just you don't have the barrier in here. You're just all the time moving those barriers and everything like that.
Behind this hill, there is always another one.
Exactly, which you can climb, and you're trying to climb. Whenever you reach this, you're going forward.
Build some kind of micro habits, some kind of not only the attitude is important here, but everyday action and persistence. Can you advise young generation to help them how actually to build those micro habits, how to make how to make them achieving their goals? What helped you most?
This is actually what we said just on the beginning. You set up your mind, you set up your goal, and you're trying to achieve that as much as you can. You're trying to see you're trying to adjust your strength as well to get this that your goal. I'm very stubborn in I never give up. That's the main thing, I think, in this job. So for me, if somebody's trying to say no, you cannot do it, why I can't do it? But like it was on the beginning, because you are the female. It doesn't matter what and what. I don't have a hand. I don't have a head on my head available or anything like that. I can do it. Why I cannot do it? If every other single seafarer man can do it, why I cannot do it? Simple. So
yeah, you mentioned that you came from maritime background. Your family was working at sea. Did this also trigger your love to sea?
yes, my father is a retired captain. He showed me actually the first vessels, and it was something what was growing for the years in the head of the small girl who attended the first tanker. On the beginning, it was only just like maybe just the dreams, but those dreams were developing in the years. And when I was in the high school, trying to think what I'm gonna do next. So it was actually the only thing which I was thinking of, to become the seafarer, to go to the Maritime Academy. So my mind was totally straightforward. Everything what I was learning, everything was what I was trying to prepare myself was set up for to get into the Maritime Academy.
And what are your plans for future in this regard? Any new hills to climb?
Always there are some more hills. I'm still looking for the right way, but I never stopped.
What is the most challenging part of work at sea from your perspective? And what is the most rewarding part of work at sea?
Always gonna be, especially for the female seafarer, I think it's at least for me, it was just the distance from the family, the being apart from the family. It was the most challenging time, especially when I was just developing the career in the time when the internet was not so available on board. It was the time when you could send the postcard or you can just buy the card. I remember when I was working for BP, you could buy the card for the phone from the captain, and you had some 30 minutes or something. Yes, something like that. So you could use it. That it was the only just the only option to contact with the family, and yeah, it was quite challenging. Looking now how the world is open for everything, you've got the internet. Pretty much most of the vessels got a Starlink, so the internet is just flowing. So you can talk, you can do some short videos and everything. The world is open. You've got the access to pretty much all the time to the internet. So it's completely different time. But I can say it's much more easier now.
It's easier and more convenient to work, but still there are some challenges. Any challenging port that you remember that that was really difficult to, let's say, go in and go out?
Always, I can say, I don't know if I'm gonna be politically correct. If I will say that Nigeria, it was the port where I spent some time there, and I can say it was really challenging time due to the security, mostly the security aspects and approach of the environment there. So yeah, it's dangerous place, yes, definitely. And if somebody's asking if I will go there, I've got to think 2-3 times if I will ever go there.
Okay. How about some rewarding sports that you remember and you come back to them with some positive minds?
There was so many ports. So I actually like most of them. There is nothing like I like this one better because it's less paper, or I like that one less or something. I prefer the ports like Central and South America. Those ones, this is my region, where it's a little bit relaxed, let's say. Not everything is like, okay, let's say Europe and the European ports are much more strict. You've got everything, tick. You can exactly. Let's say in this way. So I like very much the ports like Central and South America. That's my places, and also due to the attitude of the people, and due to the always you've got the good weather, which I really love. I really love.
So freedom is echoing back to us because there is more freedom in this area in terms of this relax that you have mentioned. And perhaps there is also more time to go ashore. Is that the case?
There was the case. When I was the junior officer, there was always the time you finish your watch at the time. And obviously, there was something for something. You're going ashore, so you're not gonna go and sleep. So there is always something for something. But yeah, you could visit the ports. You could always buy some souvenirs, some nice things. Remember in LA, we were staying for some time. I was in the time, long time ago, third mate, and we were staying a couple of days. First time in LA, it was something, wow, that's nice place. That is gonna be something.
If you compare the time as junior officer with the time as a senior officer, what's the first conclusion that comes to my mind? To your mind, sorry.
Okay, the time of going ashore was stopped once you become the senior officer. So I'm always laughing that since I become even the chief mate, I was going ashore only when I was signing off. So it was only just the time. Yeah, like I'm saying, something for something, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You've got
So
this.
you kind of missed this time when you were junior officer because of this ability to.
Yes, but now the time changed. You know, you're not looking only for going ashore. Now it's a completely different time. You can go ashore with your family when you go back at home. So this time develop. I saw what I saw. I've been in the places where many people never go. Like, okay, it's into many ports which you cannot go even for the holidays because it's either dangerous or not convenient. So this part of adventure, the world is behind me, let's say. Now I'm looking from the different perspective, looking from the perspective of my career and much more from, yeah, from the other side, let's say.
Okay, but as again, coming back to this topic, as an auditor, a safety auditor, you actually have more options to be ashore because you are traveling so much.
Yes, I'm traveling. Actually, this is the time when I travel the most. All the time. I'm saying, I'm laughing that I'm living on the suitcase. I spend more time on board and more time on the airports, traveling between the vessels because I'm jumping between few vessels within this period of 1 month. So yeah, now there is the opportunity to see more ports and we've got more time for this, let's say.
I'll now ask a completely different question regarding the interpersonal aspect and management of the crew from a chief officer and master's perspective. How do you believe easier for a female actually to manage people because you have female in general are better interpersonally, or is there from the other side maybe a challenge because may not always want to follow what the woman would say?
Being at first being the female on board, especially on the cargo vessels like the tankers, is the challenge, and it's always gonna be the challenge. But yeah, you've got to be kind of a psychologist as well to manage your crew, because the soft skills you need to have also the soft skills to manage, because you're working with the people. You never forget that you still working the people. Doesn't matter if it's the seafarer, if it's the doctor or lawyer or whoever. You are working with the people. So we are only just the humans. We all have got the better days or the worst days. So and the environment we are working when we are close for some kind of period. Some of us are working 3 months, other guys are working 6 months or even longer, like Filipino crew who are even staying 9 months on board in the close environmental, when you've got the aspects of the hard work, being away from home, the bad weather, which is happening. So everybody got the better and the worst days. So you've got to find a way to manage those people. So, and remember that everybody's got to work as a team. We on board, we are working always as a team. So,
How do you do the team building? Is there any specific way that you approach people to actually build a team?
With your knowledge and building the respect, and you building the respect, having the knowledge, showing this, that will always give you the way to approach the crew in the right way.
So competence would be the key.
Competences, exactly, which you are just gaining for the years.
And what are the biggest lessons that you managed to get at sea?
The biggest lesson.
Lesson or lessons?
Okay. There is always the sentence which my father always repeat to me. He was always saying, remember, you need to be always prepared for everything. The sea never forgives. So the sea and the environmental at sea is unforgivable. So there is no room for the mistakes. So I'm always just planning in advance, trying, okay, you cannot be prepared for every single action or every single case, but I'm always trying to plan in advance. That's something what gives me less stress. So I'm planning all the time. And sometimes when I'm on board, I've got a feeling that my head never stops working. I'm just planning and thinking all the time, preparing the different scenarios, trying to be always prepared.
And does it actually reflect in your life entirely? Is that reflecting also when you are ashore?
Very much. My kids always complaining that, Mom, you always planning everything in 6 months, even in advance. We always got the plans, and yes, I'm just trying to get my everything sorted out.
And your daughter is following your steps.
Yes. She started just now, and actually we had the meeting yesterday in the Maritime Academy, and she said pretty much more or less the same what I'm saying when the young students ask her what are the good points of being at sea. She said, yes, this is kind of freedom. What kind of freedom of the work scope, that you're going on board for some time, working in the row, whatever, and you're coming back home and you've got this time only for yourself. And like she even said, the good points are you're spending your money and you're sleeping how much you want to, and yeah, that's the good things. And it was just the words from the young person. So yeah, the young people can see more or less the same.
I guess with this positive note from the young generation, we can end up. It was a really pleasure to meet you. Thank you all for listening to our podcast. Wish you a great and happy Christmas and New Year.